Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. And today we are talking about, well, pretty bad news, unfortunately. I've woken up yet again to bad news. It's just like Danmachi Battle Chronicles delay. I have woken up once again to bad news. I had a massive 6-hour stream where I was just drinking my life away, pretty much playing Gran Turismo 4, and I was streaming on Twitch. By the way, you can go check me out on Twitch. And then all of a sudden I wake up to this, basically what's in front of your screens right now: a notice from the Danmachi Memoria Freese Twitter account on both the EN version as well as the GAP version about upcoming news story updates. And to give you guys the TLDR before we get into the video, this story news update basically says that we are no longer getting any news stories after the 6th anniversary. The 6th anniversary is going to be the final time we get a news story, and after the 6th anniversary it's only going to be reruns, which means that they're basically ending the service for Danmachi Memoria Freese. The game will still be alive for the foreseeable future, but the game is no longer creating new content after the 6th anniversary. So basically what this means is that after September 2023, the game is effectively going to be in a state where people will still be able to play the game for a foreseeable future, for a limited amount of time, until they basically decide to pull the plug. Let's go over the letter together, but this is somewhat unexpected for me personally. I felt like the numbers that they were generating when I made my video talking about how much Danmemo is making, which I guess has aged like milk, whereas the Danmachi Battle Chronicle delays video aged like fine wine, that aged like milk, unfortunately. But I thought that they would have kept the JP and NA servers live, right? Whereas, you know, I understand if they wanted to shut down the other servers, right? Because they weren't generating the same amounts of money. And they could probably create content every so often. But let's see what their reasoning is. Maybe they might have a reasoning right here in this letter. And we'll also see what others have had to say in the comments of the Twitter post. We'll also do a community reaction later today. So leave your comments in the comment section down below, giving your thoughts. I'll be uploading another video today talking about this, and of course at the end of this video I'll be talking a little bit about the channel direction, because of course the game is ending its servers, right? But obviously we'll talk about that later on. So let's start off with this letter first and foremost and see what it has to say. Important about upcoming news story updates. Thank you for playing Danmachi Memoria Freese. New event story and new outfit story updates for Danmemo will end with the upcoming JP 6th anniversary event taking place from June 2023 to September 2023. So this game will at least have new things coming to the game and exciting new things happening for at least 3 months. I'm really hoping that they're very generous in the next 3 months, because you may as well, if this is the final hurrah, the final push, basically, I hope they're pretty generous with the upcoming anniversary event. Rerun tales including previous anniversary events, gacha updates, new units, various campaigns, and ranking events will continue to be released. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting. So there are still new units coming out. So wait a second. Okay, so there will be new units. So they'll probably develop seasonal gacha units. This reminds me a little bit of like, what's it called? I think it's kind of like how Dragalia Lost was towards the end of its life cycle, where it was doing some new main story content, but for the most part, it was just focusing on doing rerun tales and, you know, stuff like that primarily. So it's very similar to Dragalia Lost in that regards, I think, towards the end of its life cycle. So let's read the letter. To all our valued Danmemo players, we've made it our mission these past 6 years to bring you a deeper view into the world of Danmachi with numerous fully voiced stories completely supervised by the original author Fujino Omori. That's one thing I have to give them credit where it's due. You know, there are so few games like that. Like I said, Danmachi Memoria Freese only made it to 6 years compared to every other anime gacha game, and especially compared to every other very niche anime gacha game, only because they had the stories to carry it with Fujino Omori. There's no way this game would have survived 6 years if it wasn't without Omori sensei, honestly. The original author's guidance, the voice actors' wonderful performances, all of the incredible art, story effects, and battle sequences tying it all together, it was precisely these elements that made Danmemo's stories an experience that truly lived up to the Danmachi name. I agree. Maintaining these high standards has always been a core value of our mission. So when the time came that we were no longer able to provide the same level of quality, we knew we had to reevaluate that what it was that we originally set out to do. After much deliberation and careful consideration, we came to the conclusion that rather than trying to press on while making compromises, the JP 6th anniversary should serve as the crowning achievement in Danmemo's legacy. After the JP 6th anniversary event, we will be unable to bring you completely new stories, but we are planning to continue releasing large-scale rerun events, including previous anniversary events. We will continue to provide the Danmachi content you have come to love us for as long as we possibly can. I can already tell you that the game will probably end sometime in 2024. So basically what they're saying is, after the events of the 6th anniversary, the JP 6th anniversary, they'll rerun a bunch of the events. Maybe they might use, like, for example, the 3rd season, the remaining Bell stories we might get. We might also get some of the 4th season stories in Bell's story, right? Because it makes sense for them to just shift it over to that. They don't need to do new content. It's already been technically, and well, it's not been voiced, unfortunately. Actually, that's a good point. They'd have to take it from the anime, or they'd have to call it as existing stories. We'll have to figure that out. I'm very curious if they'll add more to the main story for Bell, maybe, at the very least. But at least we're seeing all the previous anniversaries come back. I expect to see Grand Tail come back. That means Argonaut's gonna come back at some point. 3rd anniversary, we might see obviously the Astray record rerun again, obviously. Along with that, we'll probably see Ada's Vesta. That's very interesting. I guess the Hero Festas were like their last hurrah, maybe. So I'm wondering if we're gonna see more Hero Festas or not, because they did say new units as well. Because I feel like it was just such an interesting thing to do with Hero Festas, and now they're just shutting down. It's so weird. I don't know what to feel about it. I'm still waking up as well, and I'm still trying to process everything. But like, yeah, I think I understand what they're also trying to say, right? When, you know, they were trying to press on while making compromises with the new stories and stuff. And especially, you know, they specifically said here, we will no longer be able to provide the same level of quality, which makes me wonder now, is Danmachi Battle Chronicle or that upcoming other Danmachi game, the 2024 NeoWiz and Gree gacha game, which I've been saying for a very long time that, you know, with Gree coming in, I think that 2024 game is more of a threat than Danmachi Battle Chronicle. And I think Danmachi Battle Chronicle, while still being a threat, and, you know, there's a reason why I guess they placed it in August, so that, you know, the passing of the torch sort of happens early on as well. But I feel like more so than anything else, I feel like that 2024 gacha game, when Danmemo ends, that game will launch, basically. So that 2024 NeoWiz Gree game will launch when, you know, Gree and WFS, because remember, Gree is the parent studio to Bright Flyer Studios in this situation. When they decide to shut this down in 2024, I'd say early to middle 2024, is when we'll get the new Danmachi gacha game, the second Danmachi gacha game. So we'll see what they have to say there. We hope you continue to enjoy the wide world of Danmachi, which can only be experienced in Danmemo. The Danmemo development team is currently working towards completing the game's final large-scale event, a story of some consequence, to celebrate Danmemo's JP 6th anniversary. Maybe some of you have already even guessed what it is. As the culmination of everything Danmemo has experienced these past 6 years, all of us here on the development team can promise to deliver you the greatest story experience we possibly can. Thank you for your continued support of Danmachi Memoria Freese, Danmachi Memoria Freese development team. I think that this means that we're probably going to get either Sword of Rotoria 12 or we're going to get Albert. It's one of the two. I don't see it being Zeus and Hera anymore. I think it's going to be one of those two. I think it's more so Sword of Rotoria 12. The large scale event, story of some consequence, I'm leaning it towards being Sword of Rotoria 12, I think. I genuinely think that's going to be the case. That's how I feel about it. I think that's how I feel about it, unfortunately. We'll see now. I'm not sure exactly what's the situation, but yeah, we'll take a look. So let's have a look on the right hand side. You guys are seeing over my heads. We're gonna scroll through it. As a retired player that wants to return on the anniversary, it's a very sad news because you guys have better adaptations on LN rather than anime, except 4th season was good. I did feel Danmemo was going down all the hype almost every anime anniversary event. Thank you, teams. I mean, that's something that happens over the years, but also just generally Danmemo and the Danmachi franchise wasn't at its peak point at that time, unfortunately. So yeah, I did wish they would continue on. Let's see what he else to say. Also, thank you so much for giving us pretty decent original stories, or rather exclusive to this game, and that's some canon story. Thank you so much. Glad that people are very happy with this. In the sense of like they're very appreciative of the whole situation. Damn. what did it kind of ruin my day, but will I still be able to play after the event? So yes, you will still be able to play after the event. Effectively, after September 2023, the game will carry on for the foreseeable future. There's no end date yet. The end of service is closed though. They're going to stop making new events. No new events will come out after September 2023. End of service is imminent pretty much, but I don't think it's going to be until 2024. TLDR, if no new events after September 2023, they are going to rerun all the anniversaries, which will probably take about a year, basically, because if they go through all the anniversaries, they'll take 2 to 3 months each, right? Like how Australia Record was 3 months for each anniversary event, right? So that was about it. So let's see. We'll see. This truly hurts deeply. It's my favorite series in world. Hopefully, as the game isn't ending after Annie, there'll be some stories I get to see that I never got to, as I only started 2 years ago. Hopefully the new Danmachi game launches in 3 months, so I guess this makes the blow hurt less. I think that's also a good point as well, is that the new game is coming out in August, and I think that's the reason why they decided to, you know, get the production committee together. Maybe they decided that, okay, since, you know, the game Danmemo is ending, let's take a 3-month break, let them make as much money as possible. And I assume this must be from the production committee as well, when they saw the numbers that, you know, Battle Chronicle wasn't generating the same level of traction because of all these other gacha games, and then Danmemo's anniversary was also here. I think it was just a combination of the two things, and it resulted in basically what's the situation in this case, basically. So let's see, we'll see what the exact situation is and go from there, basically. But yeah. Okay, what's the story about those? Zeus Hera? I don't know if it's Zeus Hera. I think it's Albert or Sword Oratoria 12. New preparations for new Chloe units, perhaps not the same characters repeated anymore. Well, I think it's possible. I mean, they did say new units is still gonna happen, but we'll see. Various campaigns, new events. I think there's still content coming to the game. Remember, there's still content coming to the game. So yeah, how will this affect new unit releases? Will new units be released with reruns or only with anime adaptations? So no anime adaptations, I don't think, here, to be quite honest, unless they announce something in August, which we are expecting, but even then I don't see it happening for a while. I think new units will be linked towards the reruns, basically. So we might get a new banner, kind of like how we got the Althea and Zard with the Australia Record rerun, you know, and the Hero Festa, Alize and Ryu. Maybe we might get more Hero Festas, right? So yeah, thank you for the past 5.5 years. I have enjoyed the game for the first 5 years. I enjoy the original stories, the familiar events, lucky prize, and from the community I get new friends. I agree. I think that's been fantastic. I love the fact that this you know has garnered me so many new people that I've met and so many new friends I've made through it. So for sure. Just left the game, planning on coming to my return, and then this happens. That's always gonna happen, unfortunately, the situation. Thank you for the stories for the past 6 years. Thank you, rest in peace. Doesn't this mean end of service very soon? I would say probably next year. I want to say 2024, end of service in 2024. But yeah, let's see what the Japanese Twitter account has to say. Let's see what they're saying. G Wood here, assuming that the end of service is near, I would like you to sell the event data so that it can be viewed on PC. Please don't let the story get burned. Yes, honestly, it would be amazing if they decided to just, you know, put it all on YouTube. If they do that, if they actually end up doing that, where they put all the stories on YouTube from day one to now, that's YouTube revenue galore for Danmachi Memoria Freese. Honestly, they'd be generating bank from that. Honestly, they'd be generating bank. Is it because I created a root where... Oh, Mikan made that. Oh, I didn't know that. But is it because I created a root where Line was alive? Omori was like, nah, we can't allow that to happen. No. Sorry, that was the line. All right, you guys were doing a good job with the game. Not anymore. Sorry, lads. Get out of here. That's too funny. Basically, both cyclically and meta-wise, Zeus Hera develops deeper into... Okay. I like what he's thinking. Again, I get what he's thinking, because this is the reasoning we made for the Zeus Hera theme, but we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's going to be Zeus and Hera versus the one-eyed black dragon. Who knows? Imagine, that would be insane. Seriously, it's too spicy. Let's take a look at Master AC guy. No more additions to the main story after the original story ends. Are you gonna do it until the 4th season of the anime? That's something that is a good question. We don't know if Bell's story will be getting the 3rd season, rest of the 3rd season stuff, and 4th season stuff. I think it should, because I don't think that's really hard. It's not new story. It's not new original story, right? Maybe that sort of stuff is allowed to go through, so we'll have to see on that front, right? Let's take a look at Lin Jint as well. What does he have to say? for the time being, please don't make such an important announcement in the midst of Familiar Royale or Familiar Rush. That is true, because like it's like, oh no, and it's like, oh no. Oh man. All right, let's take a look here. Thank you for 6 years. Thank you for showing us so many adventure stories for such a long time. Moreover, in order to not erase, are you gonna leave a memo? I get it. Everybody's like asking for them to save the stories and stuff, which makes a lot of sense. I think they need to save the stories somehow. It might be Oratoria Volume 12, but I can't give them Zeus on Hera. My guy, my G, he's right, man. We need it to be Zeus and Hera. I don't want it to be Sword Oratoria 12. Let's go out with a bang. Let's do Zeus and Hera, man. Let's freaking do Zeus and Hera. But yeah, I think it's gonna be very interesting, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I think you know what I'm gonna do as well, right? I'm going to see what happens, and I think I'm gonna see if I can record as much of the event stories as possible in the coming days, maybe, and see if I can upload them. I think I'm gonna make a separate channel for it, maybe, or something. We will see. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go back to the main screen and see what happens. But yeah, it's unfortunate that this has happened. End of service is near. I don't think it's gonna happen till next year though, but basically the last time we're gonna see new original content come to the game pretty much is the 6th anniversary in terms of a new event story and new outfit story updates. Now, what does this mean for my channel? You might be wondering, because you guys know that I've been making Danmemo content. I have been making other Danmachi content, of course, right? But it's a little less frequent because there's just not so much to talk about in terms of Danmachi. Maybe I can do more what if stuff and theories and stuff like that. You guys can let me know what you guys would like to see in regards to that. But this doesn't change much, in all honesty. I'm still gonna create content for Danmachi. I assume there'll still be streams and stuff like that. Maybe we might just get slides on Tuesdays, and now we just have to use those slides and talk about it together. But basically what this means for the channel is that we're still gonna upload Danmemo content whenever they drop new units or whatever. That will still happen. It's obviously gonna become a little bit slower after the anniversary, of course, right? But that being said though, once Danmachi Battle Chronicle comes out, obviously that'll be the new main game on the channel for sure, right? That's gonna be the situation basically. But that being said though, Danmemo is still gonna be on the channel. I'm not just gonna give up on the game because it's just ending its service in about 3 months time. We're gonna play this game till it closes. Absolutely, there'll still be videos on the game. Like I said, I'm probably gonna see if I can do it. Basically, I'll do it myself with the event stories. I'm gonna start from the very beginning. I'm gonna go all the way back, and I'm gonna start uploading from day one, basically all the event stories from day one to day naught. I'm gonna do that for sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, I'll be doing a community reaction in the evening as well, so leave your comments down below. I'll be taking a look at the Reddit as well, so if you guys have any links to the Gacha Gaming Reddit or something that they have it, I'm gonna check it myself later. But if you have the links, let me know in the comment section so I can pick it up and see. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Unfortunately, a bad start to the day for yours truly, but you know, we will take the best from this, and I still see positives here. I think they've made the correct decision overall. If that's what they feel is the case, they can still make a good amount of money by doing the bare minimum, because you know fans will still support the game. However, I would say that as somebody who's a university student and whatnot, don't fully put your money into the game now, because of course you know the game is ending. I mean, this is something that's very obvious. I know other players will still be wanting to support the game, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to support the developers, feel free. I absolutely understand if you want to do that, but I know so many players who are probably going to stop wailing on the game because of the fact that there's no more content coming for the foreseeable future, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Once again, appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi, and obviously more Danmachi Memoria Freese content, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.